Yo, I've got no idea if this is working. Who knows? First time I've done this in 6 months, so let's see. Looks like we got one bot viewer, so that's nice. um, yeah, thanks for the comment. That looks very bot-like. Anyway, you'll see I've done 54 clicks since pressing go live, frantically trying to figure out how to do this because I've forgotten. But hopefully it's working. If anybody is watching and can hear, I would love to hear a confirmation if this is working because I've got no idea. Also tried to connect Instagram. Apparently that's live, but I have no idea. If you are looking on Instagram, this will probably look a lot better on YouTube. I think, I don't know if I can see people's comments, but let's see. So, I'm trying to remember what I was doing on these live streams 6 months ago on this project. What does that look like on Instagram? Probably hasn't come through yet. Oh, this is very delayed. Fantastic. Yeah, so working on this project. It's called Live Drum Machine, or LDM. Currently is the name, placeholder name. And there's been a long pause since the last time I touched it because I moved from Berlin to Melbourne, which has been a bit of an undertaking, as you probably could imagine. But now I'm here. I'm in Melbourne, as you can see very clearly. Very Melbourne looking room. As you can see, my walls are nicely adorned with lots of beautiful things. And yeah, it's basically just been a huge ordeal trying to, I brought my computer over in my bag, in my backpack on the plane, and I've just been trying to set things up slowly and trying to figure out how to squeeze this into my schedule. And now I just need to remember what the hell I was actually doing on this. I haven't actually caught up with the guys from the project for a while either, so yeah. I also thought about watching the last stream to try to figure out where I was at, and then I realized it was going to be just too late for me to stream if I did that, so I'm just YOLOing it. Oh, here we go. I got a comment, working on Insta. Thank you very much for that, Sean. Very helpful. Okay, so let's figure out what I'm doing. I think this stream I'm just gonna talk to myself probably a lot and try to just get back into the swing of things. I used to have my good friend Elk watching on every stream, but it was very convenient timing for him. It's probably like very early in the morning in the US, so I don't know if he's going to be around very often. Hopefully we pick up some new viewers maybe. Until then, I'll just happily mumble to myself and that'll be fine. Or mumble to people who are just being silently watching on Instagram and I'm not getting any feedback from that, so that's great. Yes, maybe I need to put something at the bottom of my screen on Instagram. God, it's so delayed on Instagram. Maybe I need to put something at the bottom of the screen saying like, please come to YouTube. Anyway, I digress. So I think in the last stream I modeled up this M.2 drive to replace this one that was just like downloaded from the internet somewhere. I think anyway. So I guess the plan was to replace or to swap them out. Don't know why I didn't do that. That's like the fun part. Maybe there was a good reason for me not doing it. I can't remember. But I think that's what I'll do right now. Maybe I can replace it. How is this mated? I've got no idea. Go to parallel. Okay, that's like the midpoint line or the center line of the sketch. Okay, so yep, that makes sense. So I can align it along that line, and then, okay, the end of the board. Wait a minute, does that make sense? The end of the M.2 thing is mated to that line. Why is it mated to that line? That's a bit confusing. Okay, here we go, that makes sense. And bottom plane is mated to what? That line, which must be on the right sketch. Alright. I forget how I named all the sketches, so there's going to be a little bit of relearning. Cool, so I think I can get rid of this. Yes. And I need to show that sketch, which is probably the PCB top, no? PCB back. Right, because this will be the layout on the top and this will be the layout on the back. Makes sense. So good if I could actually see if people are saying anything on Instagram. Okay, I've just had a look at the Instagram feed. Lots of people have joined and then left, obviously. What the fuck? Is that a chicken? Yes, it's a chicken. Yeah, I really need to put something at the bottom of the page saying, come to Instagram. Whatever. Alright, where's... So... This is what we're mating. Is it? Nope. This. Okay, right plane we want to be parallel to right plane. And then right plane can mate with this. Found this shortcut recently for doing these quick mates without actually opening the mate tool. So that's been pretty handy. Top plane, it's going to need to be parallel to top plane because I'm going to mate it to a sketch point. this to this. And I already did the right, didn't I? Yep, so now I just need the depth. Made it to that point. There we go. Perfect. There we go. So I named that generic m.2 module, I guess, so that it was a bit more representative of what all the different options could be for this module. So I'm going to put that in the folder storage. What are all these? Alright, I still never decided how that's gonna, how this little board's gonna connect. Yeah, I'll do that. Deal with that another day. There's a little thing that I need to put in here, which is like a little standoff. Which I haven't figured out yet. I think I've probably got the 3D model for that somewhere. What do we do next? Ah, that's right. I was going to change the display. Did I already get a CAD model of the display? Let me check. I can look at my lovely face for a minute. Just while I try to find this part. Displays. Maybe I didn't make a model of it yet. Yo, Marco, what's going on? My boy, Trotec Laser. Where have you been? Alright, this is the display. Now, I don't know if I want to make my own model of this or just use it as it is, because it's pretty good actually. Can't remember what the plan was with this, if we were going to keep this board on here or use it without that and like just have these two cables plugging into something else. Trotec is cutting now. Hell yeah. Well, you got the Trotec cutting. Oh, I just realized I'm not showing my screen. As you do. Alright, this is the display. So this is the device as it stands. For anyone who hasn't seen it yet. It's a desktop device. It's a drum machine. And it's not going to have these buttons and these knobs exactly how they are right now, but there'll be something like that. Got a big PCB in a metal box, and there's a single board computer powering it, and there is an M.2 drive there, which is going to be used for storage. And this display was the original plan, but since we did the prototype, the plan has been to change that to this display, which is a much wider but less tall display. So yeah, I don't know if did I make my own models of these? Taiwan Alpha, okay. So I'll make a SolidWorks file that's a bit more nicely named. These ones are quite nicely named. That was just a placeholder display, which I can probably delete if that's the plan. Maybe I'll check how it's mated. Okay, I've got that sketch. Parallel, and the height, obviously. Yeah, so there's going to be some amount of kajiggering in the skeleton model to get that all mated properly. Making a fillet for the display. Yeah, we can make a fillet for the display. I mean, we got a fillet here, so we're doing good, you know. We're on track. All right. This is all separate parts. How do I want to do this? Maybe I want to make it like one step file, and then like make it into a part, because yeah, this is an assembly. If I just save this, maybe I'll just use it as is for now. Making a chamfer for the board and the best Trotec cam. Oh, you're making a chamfer for a board? You are, or I am? Okay, so what am I doing here? Right, I'm just making an assembly. Waveshare is the company that makes this display. Okay, so I'm going to save this assembly as PCB-A. Making a chamfer for the board and the best Trotec cam. Tell me more. Alright, so that's saved. Don't know why it looks all weird like that, but that's fine. Let's chuck it in. I'm pretty sure oops. Ah, right. This whole thing is transparent. Yes, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to change the shape of this, obviously. Let's go insert components. Make sure I don't. All right. Yeah, so this display, I think it has glass on the top that mounts directly onto the chassis without the need for a display protector. So currently I've got like a little piece of plastic in there. This piece of plastic, which is meant to sort of protect the display underneath it. And I don't actually think I need that because, yeah, initially I had the display sort of underneath like that. And this plastic on top to protect it. And I think what you actually do with this one, because it's like a touch display, I think it goes like this. You feel me? But I don't think we're doing the touch display, so I don't know. No, we did buy one, and it had the glass on top, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, it's such a tiny amount that it overlaps. It feels like dangerous to have that supporting it. Anyway, let's try it out. These materials will need to be different thicknesses as well. How thick is this? 1.1. Only 1. And that's 2. So I might have to reverse it so it's like the top one is 1 millimeter and the bottom one, or maybe the top one's 1.5 and the bottom one's 1.5 also. Potentially. Yeah, I don't know how that's gonna work. Alright, well let's make a somewhat display shaped hole anyway. I'm just gonna hide this for now. And I need to go to the skeleton. Got a display protector, but I don't have a display. Ah, because I've got it in here. Should I just unlink it for now? Oh, I don't know what to do. Doing my head in a little bit. I've gotten so used to modeling things in a different way because I'm now in a different job that do things in a different way, and I've got to remember my old way of doing things or my preferred way of doing things, which is different to how they do it. Yeah, I think for now I'm gonna have to just unlink everything. It's gonna be a bit messy. So really I need to have like a sketch from this display in a part that I can insert into the skeleton and drive things from that. Oops. Why didn't it like that? I've forgotten what everything's linked to. These are all linked to the display protector. Drawing. God, it probably would pay for me to actually go back and watch the other streams and see what my plan was. Ooh. But I'm just gonna do something sketchy for now. Very sketchy. At some points I wonder whether I want to change my sort of CAD philosophy, because I don't know if I'm doing things the best way. Like, I know that I like this way of doing like a skeleton model and having everything kind of linked, but the way that I insert parts into the skeleton model, I'm not sure if that's like the move. Yeah, I don't know. How big is this thing? Let's just make a somewhat representative hole, and then I'm gonna have to probably clean this up later. Oh, that's a nice number, isn't it? Let's go 288. No. I'll do it exactly. 287.3. What did I just do? I've got some work to do to try to backtrack this, I think. 69.8. Yeah, and I've got some work to do trying to figure out if this is the best way to model things. Okay. So that hole should be the right size. Mate this thing in place. Wonder if the front plane is in the middle of the display. Potentially. Looks like it. The right plane. And then to stay consistent. Ooh. To make those parallel. And there should be some sketch that shows the height of the display. Here we go. Getting somewhere. Right, it's crooked. I was so confused then. Right plane. Parallel. I'm just a bit confused because I thought when I was looking at this display before that there wasn't so much overlapping. Did I hide something in the middle? I did, didn't I? Yeah. I was wondering why it looked much cleaner. Anyway. I made that onto that. Oops. Does that look right? Yeah, but this plate under here is meant to overlap. Ah, well. I think I might come back to this and actually try and do it a bit more cleanly. And yeah, there'd probably be some kind of adhesive underneath it, which could maybe space it up so that it lines up with this top surface. I don't know how to do that yet. Yeah, it's looking a bit more interesting, isn't it? Yeah, that's the kind of vibe that we're going for. So you can see this layout makes a lot more sense. Like with such a long device, it'll mean that we can have more knobs along the top of the display because we only had 6 there. So now we can probably do 8 potentially, or just 6 with nicer spacing between them. And these buttons can be bigger. So we can either have, yeah, we'll probably just have 16, no, not 16, we'll have 8 buttons along the bottom there. And then, yeah, it'll probably be a grid of 8 by something along this width, which I think makes a lot of sense. We might have some buttons on the sides for navigation and stuff, but that's all yet to come. Yeah. Need to talk to the other guys about it. I don't even know if they're still working on it. I'm going to try and get them motivated again, and we'll see where we go. Anyway, for now, I think this has been good just for me for a little intro stream to get back into it. Looks like Instagram is working. Lots of people joined and were probably like, what is going on? I see Sean commented, blue lines, brother, ew. Yeah, blue lines, I know. I'm doing it very quickly today. I haven't defined my sketches. Yeah, I need to rethink how I want to approach the model. Anyway, yeah, this was a good test. Good chance to try streaming again now that I'm back in Australia. Yeah, I think probably on Instagram I'm just gonna put something to tell people to come to YouTube because you can only see like this much of the screen because it's all cropped for vertical viewing. Anyway, yeah, cool. I think that's all I'll do today. There we go. That's where we're at. Got the M.2 in there and very roughly change the display, and I need to think about how I'm gonna fix that. In other news, I am working on a design for a desk. If you saw my YouTube video about my studio setup in Berlin, it was pretty average. And yeah, I've got these grand plans to make like a streaming desk or a video production desk. And I was thinking about streaming the design of that, but I'm not quite sure yet if I want to do that or if I want to keep working on this on the stream. So we'll see. But that's happening in parallel. And I also recorded a few videos in Berlin before I left. One of them is testing the vocal booth. And yeah, so that'll probably get edited and videoed. It's edited and posted at some point, but who knows when, you know? Doing my best, trying to figure it out. Anyway, that'll do for now. Probably I'm going to try to find a schedule to actually stick to to be like, okay, I'm just gonna stream once a week, but guaranteed it's gonna happen this time, this place. So yeah, it might be Thursdays. I haven't decided yet. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is that I'm trying to get back into it and get stuck into these designs and get finishing some projects and be producing some videos and stuff. So yeah, if you tuned in briefly, thank you, and I'll see you on the next one if I can remember how to do the outro. All right, bye.